Farm4Profit podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm4Profit podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm4Profit podcast.
And listeners, welcome back to the Farm4Profit podcast, which we determined earlier this week is better than radio.
Better than radio.
Better than radio.
Not hard to beat.
Not hard to beat. We're also brought to you by Pattern Ag, predicting pest and pathogen risks in your fields. Don't gamble with your yields. Go to www.pattern.ag today. Corey told me we'd already done this episode.
Yeah. Very similar named guests.
And I think that's about it that's going to be similar, would be my assumption.
Very. Yeah, probably. That is it.
This is a Farm4Fun show, so we have already had a little fun. Oh, gosh, we didn't even open it up with a...
Yeah.
All over my glasses. Why is it every time I do this, it ends up all over my glasses? Yeah, first time, sorry. Rookie.
And so for those of you new listeners, we have two different formats. We have Farm for Profit and Farm for Fun. Profit, we're talking about something profitable on your farm, a little more educational. And Farm for Fun, we get to interview somebody fun.
That's right. At least that's what we hope. Right, Corey?
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, I was just zoned out for a second.
You line up all the guests, so they've got to be fun.
I do. Well, not all of them. Obviously, I didn't know that I had two things mixed up with the same last name. But she's been on the list.
That's right. And listeners, that list is put together from suggestions that you sent to us, so thank you for doing that. We also love your reviews, but don't forget to hit subscribe, whether it's to the podcast, to the YouTube channel, or you follow us on a social media platform. We appreciate that. Corey, who sent us our review this week?
Reed H.
To not victimize
And this was
anybody.
an email, and he said, right off just shot his shot right away. Bush Light and Cayman Jack. Make it 50-50 mix.
Okay.
Huge fan of the podcast.
Huge fan of the podcast. So
I like that
it.
suggestion.
So that's what we got today.
Yes.
So in the middle of the show, we will mix that.
We will. We're going to start off with some ice cold Bush Light. Bush.
It's just going to be like a lime bush, right?
Well, no. We'll figure that out.
It's got a little sugar in there, though, too. So that's...
Bush Light's going to catch on. It's going to be the next flavor they're going to do. They've done
think
peach
so.
and apple.
It's going to
they'll be
make it
like
a little
bush.
hotter on the alcohol side of things. That's what it's going to do.
A little different. We did do margarita mix once in a Bush Light, so I bet this will be just as good, if not better.
Right.
I don't have it pulled up on the TV, but are you good to go?
Yeah, that's why I spaced out.
Oh, you were spaced.
So
Okay.
I'm good.
Nope, that's my bad. Let's launch into our Farm for Fun show today.
Maybe.
Bottom dial, slide it.
Today on the Farm for Fun show, we get to stay right here in Iowa, even with an in-studio guest that's very fun and energetic. She's an influencer. She's big into health, hunting, 90s country, old trucks, and conservation. She comes in with a ton of followers where she can be found that she has over 16,000 on Instagram, 146,000 on TikTok.
Whoa.
Please welcome from Iowa, Miss Joy Van Wyngarden.
Great.
That was the best intro. I love it.
I stumbled over because I had to read my small print on my phone.
Oh, man.
We got a
if we
big
only had
frickin'
a
TV.
60-plus inch...
You know, if I was
teleprompter.
good, though, I'd just be able to do it right off the top of my head.
That's right.
Like Pat McAfee, like, whoa. But
You'll get there.
You're just not
welcome.
good.
Welcome
You
to
just
the
need
show.
applause like Trump has in between each sentence, so it gives you time to think of the next sentence.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Put that on the machine.
Yeah.
We could do that.
should.
We could do that. So what's going on? You come up from, what did you say, the Pella area?
Yo.
Yeah. How do you
Southeast
introduce
Iowa.
yourself?
Not the way you did.
No?
You make me sound way cooler than I am, and I'd rather like
I don't know.
under promise and over deliver.
You don't get 146,000 followers on TikTok without being cool.
We're totally going to send you that audio clip, and when someone asks you to introduce yourself,
right.
you can
This
just
is it.
here.
This is it.
Can I plug in? Can I plug in?
What do you
Hand me
mean
the
you don't know
aux.
who I am?
Yep. Hand me the aux. Perfect.
So is that how you found me then on TikTok?
Yeah. Yep.
What was do you remember the first TikTok that came up? By
Oh,
chance
gosh. No, it was probably a few years ago. I had to, or a couple years ago. At
Yeah.
least.
I always just stop and watch the ones of you getting into the ice bath
Oh, really? Those are the ones that come up on your For You page?
See, I have not
That's
seen that one
interesting.
yet.
because I did got to go to a resort with my wife and her company, and they had a 3-step process in the spa that was free because I'm cheap, that allowed you to go for a half hour into a 3-spot rotation from sauna to cold plunge to hot tub, back to sauna, cold plunge, hot tub, and then you were supposed to drink like 10 or 12 ounces of water.
Did you love it?
Oh, I did. I kept wanting to go back every single day. It was exhilarating. And so, when I see cold plunges now, you almost get the phantom feelings of it happening.
Gotta get one of those like buckets or whatever.
There's
Or do
lots
what
of
I did.
people-
I just have like a old chest freezer and I just fill it with ice.
I saw a chest
like
freezer on
redneck.
Facebook
Did you
Swap.
plug that in?
No, so the unit or like the compressor or whatever just went bad on it. So
Yeah.
I just got it from a friend. So I have to put ice in it every week.
But that's what people do if it does work, right? They just
Correct.
plug it in.
Yep. And then you can just like turn it down so it doesn't freeze, but
Freeze
that
like
way it
into
still
a
stays like
solid
icy.
block.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm trying to remember. I think it was like a hunting that because I had like 2 specific algorithms. I had hunting and I had farming, and I'm like,
one of those that
hey,
came up.
she's cool. She does hunting, and then all of a sudden it was something farm. I'm like, wow, that's perfect. You know, like she needs to be on the podcast.
Hitting
so,
the algorithms, right?
Yep.
And Dave has
Love
no idea who you are.
And I just here to ask questions. Yeah.
You're not on the Tic Tac, Dave?
Yep. I
He's
am on
on
the
it.
TikTok.
Okay.
Yep.
His algorithm's a little different.
Mine's auctioneering, business, and then I get some farming in there.
Okay.
And
And cold plunges.
I have
Now that
cold
we've said
plunges.
it.
I mean, I have some on there.
That's right.
They're
Yep.
going to come on now. They're going to start showing up.
They will. You didn't have to
Oh, yeah, you
search
don't-
it.
yeah,
Just,
it'll
all they got to do
listen.
is listen to us.
I probably follow you and don't even know it. I'll check.
Okay, so back to the introduction part. How do you introduce yourself?
Joy VanWyngarden. I'm just a young kid, a farm gal. Grew up on a farm. I work in conservation agriculture now, and I love it. And I just like promoting it and talking about it and making it fun and relatable for other people.
so, how do you work in conservation agriculture?
So I'm a watershed coordinator based out of my watershed in the South Skunk. And I just work with farmers to help them implement conservation practices.
Is that NRCS?
I'm not employed through the NRCS. It's weird because I'm like employed through my district, but then my funds come from the state of Iowa. So IDAL's Iowa Department of Ag and Land Stewardship. But I work inside of an NRCS office somewhat. Like I'll use their equipment and their trucks and stuff.
Right.
So it's like a gray area, but like I'm not as like stingy and
Kind of like a contractor. in a
yeah,
sense.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's a great way to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get to work with farmers and I get to do all
Conservationist
that
for
fun stuff.
hire.
Conservationist for hire.
I should change that to my
Yeah.
my slogan, my bio
Yep.
now.
Like you're sneaking around doing conservation things.
Pretty much.
At least she's not DNR.
Well,
No, it's
maybe
true.
she could be on the path to that. I don't know.
So what got you started in this role? Was that what you always wanted to do, or it was an opportunity that popped up?
No, I didn't even know I wanted to go into agriculture until I was in like junior college. I was going to DMAC and then I was going to go on to be a massage therapist. And I just remember having like a conversation with my sister at the dinner table who was at Iowa State at the time. And it was just like a conversation. I was like, you know what? I feel like I just had like a gut inner feeling that I was like, I think I need to go into agriculture. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, but it was just like I felt like called. I was like, I think I want to go into ag. And she was like, okay, like let's set up an appointment. I went up there, we met an advisor, and it's like when people say the rest is history, like I don't even know how I ended up here. I started in that office as an intern, and then it just led to this position. And it's like I just never looked back.
So your family farms,
Yep.
still farms,
Yep.
and is it just dad, or what's that dynamic look like?
Dad, uncle, cousins, pretty much everyone on that side of the family.
Okay.
Your typical like Midwest family where everyone farms.
All as one together?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
So then you help out, or what's your role outside of?
When I can, if
Yeah.
I do, if they need me. Half the time I'll be like, I can drive grain cart, and they'll be like, eh. I'm like, okay. You didn't have to say it like that, but okay. But yeah.
Yeah. And it's just corn, soybeans, or is there
Yep.
livestock too?
Nope, just row crop.
Okay.
My uncle had cattle. My cousin has cattle, but my uncle got out of a feedlot years ago. He just got too old for that, and yeah, no hogs or nothing. Thank
So
the
what
Lord.
got you into the conservation side of farming?
I think indirectly, probably my grandpa. He always just kind of relayed the whole idea of stewardship to me that like didn't really click with me until I got older, and then realized like, oh, there are things you can be doing to be a good steward. Like it's not just about being a good farmer, because you know, growing up, I'm like, I don't know, everyone's a good farmer. Like,
Yeah.
of course, my dad's a good farmer. Everyone's a good farmer.
Yep.
But then you realize like there's certain practices and things you can be doing that's like the true definition of stewardship. So I think he probably planted the seed, and then I kind of just like cultivated it on my own and started learning things. And like I said, I don't know. I don't even know how I ended up in it.
So does your dad follow that?
Dad, not so much. No, he's a hard cookie to sell.
Okay.
That's like the one dinner table like conversation we'll have, and it's just like he does not want to hear more about cover crops. And
Okay.
It's that topic that, it's that taboo topic that I still shove in his ear all the time. Though, like he knows he's never gonna quit hearing it from me, but
Right.
You're just going to jump in something someday and
I
just go
told him,
spread it yourself.
I was like, just a field. I said, just give me like a field. Give me some
Yeah,
give me
that's
some
right.
crappy river bottom ground or something. Like, let me show you what I can do with it. Like, I have the cost share for it. I can help you with anything you want to do. We can work with the neighbors who have cattle and they can graze it. Like, we can make this work. Let me help. And he's like, yes. And then he's like, and then he's like, maybe. So
yeah.
we're just going to wait till he kicks the bucket. And I was like, all right, my turn.
Well, we're going to need to edit that out.
Warren Buffett.
He doesn't know how to use a cell phone. So he won't be listening to this. You don't have to worry.
He'll find it on the interwebs.
It will, yeah.
He might.
We're everywhere. They'll find it.
If he gets savvy.
I think where you can actually use the cover crops is if you do have livestock. Like you said, if the neighbors
think
can
it's a
do it. Because
no-brainer.
like Tanner, your in-laws.
Yeah, they really don't even cover crop. They're just double cropping.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, by the time they mow off the rye or whatever
Yeah.
type of blend they've got this year to round up for bales, or they chop for feed, the cover really becomes a double crop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing good things for the soil in the process. So
It gives them a late season opportunity to apply some manure. It just, it
Exactly.
presents with livestock a lot more opportunities.
And I think if that is your system and your operation, it's kind of like the no-brainer one that I tell people. Like if you have livestock and like you have, in Southeast Iowa especially, there's a lot of cow-calf
I was going
pairs.
to say,
So
you're
like
south of 80. So.
it's kind of a no-brainer if you have
that's another
row
stereotype.
crops.
There's another stereotype.
It's true though. Is it a stereotype if it's true? I don't know.
That's a good point. That's what we're trying to get down to.
I don't know. That Pella area, though, is pretty nice for south of 80.
Yeah.
Pretty good
We
farm
think
ground.
so.
It's pretty good farm ground, too. That 163 corridor through there, it actually gets
It's
kind
not
of
bad.
flat for a while. And yeah.
There's some good stuff.
Vermeer's down there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you get on? These guys found you on TikTok.
Yeah, why social media?
Why are you a TikToker?
That was another accident that I just don't know how that happened. I think I was in college when it first came out because it was like during COVID, and I just remember seeing it. I'm like, this is stupid. All these tweenie boppers on here dancing, and I'm like, this is dumb. Like, this is really dumb. Someone's just trying to remake Vine, and it's not going to go anywhere. And then, one day I'm bored out of my mind sitting in my apartment, not going to class because it's COVID. And I'm like, you know what? I could make something. Like, this isn't hard. I'm funny. I know I'm funny. Like,
So what was your
I'm
first
gonna make
one?
something. I think it was of my cat. Because I think my very first one was my cat. And since then, it's definitely gone a different direction. But yeah, and then I just started making ones, and then all of a sudden you like wake up and you have like 40,000 followers, and you're like, oh my gosh, people think it's funny, or people find it relatable, or whatever. And then I was just making relatable stuff, whether it was like being a farm kid, living in the country, working with your dad, like things like that. And then people, you could tell, just like felt connected to it, and it was a total accident. I was making fun of TikTok, and then one day I was like, shit.
I think
I'm a TikToker.
Yeah, like now people are like, oh, you're on TikTok, and I'm like, am I though? Do I have to
pretty
be?
sure, like, everyone. I mean, Tanner, I know you're not. We had a similar situation. Like, this is dumb. And then, well, Tanner made one, and it went to like 1 million views. I'm like, what the hell? If he can do it, I can do it. Like,
Right.
That's for darn sure.
And there's some funny, creative people on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
some people have really taken to the app, and they're just putting like actual good content out there.
Well,
so
I
it's
tell
just
you
kinda fun to
what.
see it.
I tell you what, though, I'm in a rut right now. Like
yeah,
it is.
It's been bad this spring.
Sometimes you just get to that burnout stage to where.
Oh, like you're trying to come up with ideas yourself, and you're kind
Well, and
of
I've had ideas, just lacking the motivation of doing it. Just one of those times where it's like, okay, I know what it takes, because when you want to launch a good one, you want to have the algorithm in your good graces. You want to have content for a couple of days lined up in a row, get to a little series put together, and
oh yeah.
it just takes effort.
See, Tanner
It does.
plans it out too much, though. He has a list of like funny ideas that he wants to do and all that. And see, like when I was at my peak, it was like just inspiration. Like you were watching
Random.
something, you're scrolling or something, like, oh, I can do this, or I got to do that.
See,
This,
that's where I'm at.
yeah,
Yep.
that's
That's how that happened.
So yours is a wide variety. Like you said, you've got farm and family and community and just.
Outdoors, kind of everything.
So what gets the most traction?
Probably outdoors and ag. And I mean, that's to no surprise because we do live in the Midwest and that's what a lot of other country kids are doing or what they're watching at least. So I would probably say like anything outdoor related or ag related. Those are probably the bigger ones.
You ever get in trouble? Have stuff taken down?
I've had a few hunted ones get taken down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you violated community guidelines. And I'm like, I didn't kill the fish. I was just holding it up. Like the fish is fine. I put it back. Okay. But yeah. And then they can like ban you for like 3 days. And then you're like really in a rut. So
I've had a couple of community guideline violations, and it always involves my children. It's like the children are safe. You know, they were on a golf cart.
Endangerment.
Yeah,
you didn't put helmets on them or something.
Buckle
them in.
Put
Dang it,
seatbelts on the
Tanner.
damn golf cart.
No,
Those
it's
are minors,
weird.
and they
Sometimes
did
it's
not
weird
approve to
things.
be in that.
That would actually be a
Right.
good TikTok. I should go rip some seatbelts out of old cars and put them on a golf cart.
Add it to your list.
Like, this is how we're going to safely maneuver TikTok.
Have you ever had anything taken down, Dave?
Hunting. Yep. Yep. I've posted a couple of some big bucks I've shot, and they got taken down right away.
Really?
Yeah.
If you show the buck and it's like walking around before you shoot it, they're fine. But as soon as you have like a bow or a gun or anything like somewhat in the
I think mine
picture-
was mounts.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Already mounted deer, and they got taken down.
You got to put a disclaimer in there. It says, they're fine. They have air conditioning.
Yeah, exactly.
They're comfortable.
In a gorgeous setting. Yeah.
Beautiful view.
Yep.
I just want to know why it gets taken down. Why would China care about a hunting thing over here? Like,
I don't know.
I don't.
TikTok hates hunters,
for the
though.
same reason that society. My kids
Is
can't
it-
do this, like cowboys and Indians.
Right.
You can't do that. I saw a kid do that on the bus on a tour the other day, and the teacher about threw him off the bus just because they're making a gun picture with their finger. But they can flip somebody off, and that's okay. But you can't do a gun finger like that because that means
So I don't think TikTok cares. So is someone like screening the video and going, up? Nope, that's coming down.
Well,
or
I
is
think
there
you
like
get
enough
reported.
complaints?
It's probably got to be enough reporting. Someone says, "Oh, this isn't right. This isn't safe. This
to get
isn't
enough haters.
I think it's a
Good
little
for
bit of
your
both.
algos, but not good.
Because sometimes I'll try to post one and they won't even get up and they'll have no views and they already take it down. So like the algorithm I think has gotten smart enough where it can like recognize dead animal or
Those
a
are the
bow or
ones though. Like
something.
if you get in that little like weird space, like where it has 0 views for like 4 hours, if they let it go through, they're normally really good.
yeah, but they have to think about
They
it.
blow up. They're like, it's like, man, I can't see it.
Right.
Yep, those are good ones.
So, is your favorite to fish or is it to hunt? Do you have a preference? You just want to be
Depends on my
outside?
mood. I just want to be outside. Like I'm a plant with more complicated emotions. If you put me outside and I have sunlight and I have water,
A plant with
Water.
more complicated.
good.
emotions.
Yeah,
You ever been
anything
up
to be outside.
to Northeast Iowa trout fishing?
I've not gone trout fishing up there, but I
Ooh.
have been up there.
Just got back. 2 days of limits, no big deal.
Pretty much
2 days
Did you
in
get
limits.
rainbows or were they
Rainbow and
brooks?
one brown. I haven't caught a brook for several years.
Do you throw the browns out when you catch them? Because aren't they trying to get rid of them? Those are the invasive ones.
No, I don't think so. I kept it. I ate it.
I thought the brown one
guess
was
I
the one
threw
they're
it
trying
out.
to like.
Well, he did take it out technically because he
Yeah,
took
I
it
did
home
take
and
it
ate
out.
But did you put it back?
No,
he
I
ate
took
it.
it out. I
Oh,
ate it.
good. Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I mean, I said I caught a limit, and I'm up there to eat. Like, it's not. You're not really sport fishing up in the Northeast Iowa for
Right.
the big. I mean, I've caught some decent ones, but most of them are stocked. And
Were you
know.
fly fishing?
No, I did buy a fly fish rod once from Walmart because some guy, a day that I did not limit out, some guy just walks by me with a fly rod and just takes him out, throws him back in. I'm like, what are you doing? I want to eat that. Like,
You're like, I'm learning how to do that.
yeah. So I
It's gonna
bought
be me.
one and I went out to Big Creek, which is by our farm, and caught a bunch of bluegill. And then I don't know where that fly rod is anymore.
Oh, dang. So
Yeah.
you're good at it.
Well, I mean, I learned. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was good, but I went out to the end of the dock and
It's kind of an art.
it's fun.
Like you see other people doing it, and then you try it, and you're like, "What in the like?" It's,
Oh yeah,
it's
we were making fun of my
tricky.
buddy because he bought a nice one. He went down. There's a fly shop in Des Moines. If you actually,
Oh,
I did
really?
not know that. And he bought one, and he went out on the river. We're staying on the Upper Iowa River, and like he ain't gonna catch nothing. We just got there, set up camp, like we're not really fishing. He freaking wades out there up to his tits, like no waders. You know the water's freezing cold, and he freaking pulled a trout out of the Upper Iowa River. I'm like, no
Good
shit.
grief. It works. You're
Yep.
like, dang it.
Yep.
You gotta go to this fly shop
Yep.
in Des Moines. That's funny.
It's hard to fly fish up there because the streams are so small and narrow and trees everywhere. So it's more, you're not like, whipping it back and forth. You're more just like flicking it.
Like they're doing out in the West. Where they're just
yeah. I would love to do that.
They're crazy.
Do you do that in Montana?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's probably natural trout there.
Oh, all over. Yep. No, last week, there's fly shops everywhere, too. Every 10 feet, you have another fly shop that's there, but everybody fly fishes.
So it must be fly shop, dispensary, fly shop.
You nailed it. That's exactly what it was.
Wait, did they
Hell yeah.
legalize it
No,
up there?
fly shop, dispensary, tourism, fly shop.
Smoke, eat weed, trout fish. Yeah.
Wait, when did they legalize it up there?
A couple of years ago, I think.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was just in Montana last week, and it was. Well, we went and visited my cousin, and he was out fly fishing every day. But that's
And
what
it's
he
like
does.
one of the most red of the red states, right?
Yeah.
And it hasn't hit Iowa yet. That's crazy.
Oh, it's probably coming.
Oh, it is. It's going to be all the other states surrounding us, and we'll be landlocked, and they'll be like, screw it. Like,
It's going to come across the borders anyway.
Exactly.
It's going to
Might
be a
as well
tax
be
issue. Just
our
like
tax.
fireworks.
That's right.
Just like fireworks. We get them in Missouri, get them in Wisconsin, get them, South Dakota.
You can get them here now.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you said you're like a plant with more complicated emotions.
I like the sunshine.
And
Okay, so she likes sunshine.
and
I
mobile.
didn't know if that was a tied to
a mobile plant.
diet or what
Mobile.
what plants eat. You're not.
No, I'm not like vegan or vegetarian. No, sir. No, I eat lots of meat. I had eggs for breakfast.
Right? Got to that answer pretty quick.
I
We're good to go.
support Iowa agriculture.
Well, that's some of your content, isn't it? Eating meat? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So who's your followers?
Probably
Guys,
people
girls,
like
hunters?
me. Both. I mean, Midwest, ag, hunter, country kids, I think, for the most part. Because I'm not really getting much hate on my ag or outdoor stuff. So I'd assume they're also like me and they enjoy that kind of stuff.
So Corey said, you say 90s country music?
Mm-hmm.
I do love 90s
You like
country.
90s country?
Who doesn't
she
like
had
90s
steel
country?
You're not
guitar.
old enough to like 90s country.
Her test, her microphone test,
Her check.
sound check was steel guitar.
Yep.
That's what I was listening to on the way here. It was on my mind.
Who was playing?
I think it was George Strait.
George Strait. Oh, okay.
I think it was just like a George Strait radio, so it was a little bit of everyone. But my friend that lives in Colorado Springs, she just saw him this past weekend out there, and I was
Okay.
like, "Gosh, dang it!"
He's
I was
been
like,
getting around. I saw him in Des
"Let's
Moines.
see him."
Yep.
Probably. I don't know how long he'll be going.
Coming down to Colfax, we got the
know.
farm tour. Luke Bryan's coming down there.
That's right.
I saw Luke Bryan in Boone.
He shakes his butt a lot in concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke was okay. It was more the concert venue. Really sucked.
Were you out at Farm Progress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
went
go
there
to
last
that
year.
one?
Yeah, me and Huey, our last guest that we just had, we ended up with the cops at the end of the night.
Well, that was his. That was
Please
his
tell that
second or
story.
third time there. I went to one of his first ones, and they didn't have cold beer. You had to wait 45 minutes for beer. They didn't have enough porta potties. They were overflowing.
Oh, gross.
It was so windy that night. You couldn't. If you were on the north side of the stage, you couldn't hear. You could only hear it on the south side. Like
The venue is
Yeah.
awkward because when we went, it was pouring rain and cold, and everybody,
No
dressed,
comms.
dressed like a concert, and
Yeah.
they were freezing.
it was dark. I mean, like not enough lighting. It was bad.
Just had a bad concert.
You're
experience.
reminding me of like the Big Country Bash early on
BCB.
down at Waterworks
That was
Park.
fun. Yeah.
Same thing when it had small stage and especially after rain because it's so low down there. Everything was a freaking mud pit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember mud wrestling down there. It was like literally just slopping around in mud. Yeah, they weren't canceling
Don't
that thing.
picture you mud wrestling.
So that was
Wait, were you actually wrestling?
I can't really. I don't want to
I
picture.
don't think he was the one wrestling.
Okay. I
No.
go.
So that was blocks away from my dorm.
Okay.
So we'd just walk back and forth
Wait,
to
Waterworks
the dorm.
Park?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
AIB.
Not a college anymore, so it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. His degree is like void.
My high school,
You're aging yourself, Dan.
both my high school and my college don't exist anymore. So I better not.
Where'd you go to high school?
Aurelia,
Northwest.
Northwest Iowa. So now it's Alta Aurelia. It's a merged district.
Okay.
So technically, didn't University of Iowa buy that?
Technically, yes. And no, when they asked
you're a
if I
Hawkeye.
wanted to, no. When they asked if I wanted to get my, whatever you call it, a diploma or whatever it is, reassigned, I said no. Not
What
gonna
was
be a
AIB's
Hawkeye.
mascot?
Eagle.
Ah.
Yeah. we were
Patriotic.
Eagles.
Did you go to DMAC in Ankeny?
Ankeny and Newton. I took some classes at both.
Oh, I forgot they had a campus in Newton.
Yeah.
That'd probably be closer.
It was closer.
All right,
Save
let's
some
taste
gas.
this Busch Light cocktail, and then Dave's going to tell us his cop story with Huey. 'Cause
Oh, man.
Joy asked, and then
I
we
do
just
wanna
let
hear
it go
this.
by.
All right, let's give it a try. This is Cayman Jack Margarita, so the canned or bottled Cayman Jack, 50-50.
Thanks
Mixed
to
with
Reed.
Busch Light.
Reed H.
Oh my gosh.
It's good.
This is good.
Better than Busch.
Why wouldn't it be good, though? Because they do margaritas with Corona in it, like a margarita with Corona. But it is way good.
But you just don't think about it. You're
I
like,
love
This
it.
beer
is
and
summertime.
margarita.
This is perfect. If you're listening right now and you have a pontoon, just go out to the pontoon, keep us playing, make yourself a Busch Light and Cayman Jack.
What are
Busch
we going to
Jack?
call it, though?
A Jack
Busch
Busch?
Jack?
A Cayman. Ooh.
Cayman Busch.
Cayman Light?
Jack's Busch.
A JB.
JB. I like Jack Busch.
This is really good. Oh my gosh.
It is like
It's refreshing.
Well, we've got.
I don't know if it was on
4
tape
more,
or not, but I was
so
about ready to say.
You're welcome to keep.
No, it wasn't. It was in our break. I had some of these. I bought like a 6-pack, and I'm like, they're good. They're just a little too sweet for me.
Oh,
This is perfect.
But
this
now
is
it's
dumbs down
perfect.
the sweet for you.
Yeah.
And it sweetens up the Busch for me.
Yeah.
That's the problem with those new bushes they're coming with, like the peach and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just so darn sweet. It's
Yeah.
like I have one, and I'm like, that's enough.
yeah.
Like I don't want gut rot. We're just gonna
Right.
hang on to one.
I mean, it's not as bad as some of the fruity drinks, or like the apple, the Busch Light apple. It's not as bad as like a what do you call the apple?
A cider?
Yes.
Oh, like
yeah, the cider.
ace pear and like
yeah.
those.
Like it's not as
reds.
sweet as those, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like one, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
All right,
though.
Dave.
This is
How
just
did you
back
get
of this.
How did you get arrested at a Luke Bryan concert?
Oh, we didn't get arrested, but we ended up talking with the cops. So we went to the Luke Bryan concert, and I ended up with tickets. I thought I'd take everybody, but it started raining, so nobody wanted to go. So I put it out on Facebook, and Huey Be Cool, TikTok influencer, says, well, I've got nothing to do. And his wife, Annie, who we just interviewed as well, she is like, I'm pregnant, go. And so me and Huey go to the concert and hang out and went there and bought him some drinks, whatnot. Then we're coming back. I'm like, hey, you want to go to college bars? Let's go to the college bars. So we go downtown to the college bars. Well, of course, I used to work right next door to all the college bars at the fire department. So I'm like, wow, we'll just park right here. I parked here a million times. And so we went and got food, Chinese place, and I thought, well, they're closed, so let's just park there. Well, my truck got towed by the time we come out of the college bars, so I've never had my vehicle towed, and it's just missing. Like, where the heck is my vehicle? It's 1 a.m. What's going on? So Habs is what it says on the sign, and so
Towing.
Towing, yep. And so
Yeah, not another stereotype.
Yeah.
and so I go over to, I know where their lot is because I worked at the fire department and police and saw where they towed stuff too. So I go over there. Well, my truck's there, so I'm turning it on and off, and it's all locked up, whatnot. So I call them and said, can I get my truck? Yeah, you can get your truck. We'll stop by. So I stop by, and the guy says, well, it's X amount of dollars or whatever you got to pay. Okay. And but they charge an extra $300 to get it tonight. And I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm here. We're good. Came here. I'll pay the fine. And they're like, well, because it's convenience. I'm like, well, you guys are working. You're here already.
Yeah,
like,
you just towed it.
It's right over there. I've been to the lot. And they're like, well, you don't know where it is. And yeah, I do. And so we go over there, and they're like, well, if you come in the morning, you don't have the fee. I'm like, well, it is morning. And I'm like, well, what time do you open? Well, 7 a.m. I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you in the morning. And so I go park over by their lot because by now Huey had given me a ride home. So he gives me a ride home to get my other vehicle, and I go back there so that I can pay and whatnot. And so I figured I'm going to stay there, and I want to see how late these guys are going to be here for convenience, of course. Well, they're up all night towing vehicles left and right. And so I parked in their lot, and I'm just waiting there. Well, they call the cops on me. So then the cop comes and she's like, can I help you? And she says, yeah, you can help me. And she says, well, what are you doing? I said, wait until 7 a.m. when they open. She says, well, you can't park here. I said, why not? I said, it's their business. I'm just waiting for their business to open. They told me I couldn't be here until 7, or that I couldn't pay until 7, so I'm just waiting until 7 to pay. And she says, well, I get it. And I said, well, then I'll go park in the neighbor's parking lot, right? Like, okay, one spot over. So I park one spot over, and they were okay with that. So I get there at 7 a.m. to pay. Long story short, they charged me $300 extra.
Anyway?
What?
They charged me $300 extra, and it said inconvenience fee. I was like, what? So we ended up talking with the owner and get with him. I'm like, I like, all right, you want to go to court? Let's go to court because this is going to get.
I would have just paid the extra $300 at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not paying an extra $300. So I stayed up all night and stayed at their lot and eventually made it out. But Huey stayed with me because we went around searching to see if it was just an open lot. We were just going to grab my truck and go. And I'm like, I got keys. We will find it. And I got the tracker thing on my truck. So anyways, we went to get it. It was locked up. Otherwise, we were going to grab my truck and go. So the cops did show up. They didn't do anything.
Because you weren't doing anything wrong.
We weren't doing anything wrong. So we were just waiting for the business to open.
Yeah. Just waiting.
Just waiting.
It's like those people that come to the bank at 8:30 knowing that the front door doesn't open until 9, and they just stand there looking in. And it works every time. We still go to the door and open it and let them in.
I didn't know that it didn't open till 9.
Did I still let you in?
But I still
I
let you
called
in.
you. Like, why is the bank not open? It's banker's hours, right? Like,
But I've never had a vehicle towed, so it was an interesting experience. And then when I got in it, my check engine light was on.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
Sketchy.
And because when they tow it, they're like, well, did you have your parking brake on? I'm like, yes. And they're like, oh, well, so they just pulled it backwards while it had. So
And you had to pay for that.
we had
I'm
longer
assuming.
discussions after that.
Fun.
Moral of the story, park somewhere.
That's right. Look where you're parking. Well, our Farm for Fun shows, we like to get to know the guests. We also like to play a game to maybe help us get to know the guests a little bit better.
I love games.
Yeah. And we've never played this one before.
Oh, great.
A little bit of a different style, but it's kind of like when you did your mic check. The first thing that came to mind was steel guitar. We're going to play word association. So we'll say a word. You say the first thing that comes to your mind.
This is a PG-13 show, right?
No.
This is a fully edited show.
This is like R-ish. What comes one step above R?
it's actually X. It can be X-rated. It just gets bleeped out sometimes.
Okay.
We did bleep that one show pretty hard.
Right.
Because I was like, this is a dangerous game.
The trucker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, God.
So you're supposed to say...
We say the word that's on the paper, and
Okay.
she's supposed to
One
say...
of you guys go first so I can see how it works.
No, it's not how this game's played.
I've never played it either.
So let's try to connect.
We should make Tanner...
I got one that I can do.
Let's
for
try
Corey.
to
Tina, go
connect.
first.
What's your one for Corey?
I got one I can do for Corey. That's on our deal. Okay. Ready? Beer.
Bush Light.
Right.
Just like that.
Oh, beautiful. Well done, Corey.
Well done.
Well
Little
done.
lob ball there.
Do we want to try and make her tie it into agriculture, or do we just want the first word?
No, natural.
Okay. Yoga.
Love it.
Cold.
Beer.
Fear.
Heights.
Girl.
Skirt.
Mistake.
Oh, college.
Fur.
Puppy.
Puppy.
Luxury.
Couch.
Hero.
Mr. Incredible.
Interesting.
Green.
Dutch.
Green Dutch?
That was our colors in school. We were the
Okay.
Mighty Dutch. Or
Okay.
Mighty Dutch or Little Dutch or we were something Dutch, but our colors were green.
That must have been very important to you.
Very. Can you imagine that? In a Dutch town.
Coffee.
Oh, energy.
Iowa.
Cyclones.
All right. Last one. Javelin.
Renaissance Fair.
Have you ever been?
I have been. I got like extra credit in high school for going to one. So, of course, I had to watch adult grown-ass men in skirts
This is why
take
college was a mistake.
javelins and run towards each other on horseback.
Were you just
And
like,
this?
nerd?
Well, I was like looking around like there were full-ass grown adults that are like dressed up and
they're
calling each
into
other
it.
bar wenches. And yeah, I'm like, they were all into it. And I'm just like, this is the easiest
Isn't
extra
that-
credit and also the weirdest extra
Very
credit I've
entertaining.
ever had in my entire life.
Isn't that where you live? You have like tulip days and all that jazz?
It's not a Renaissance fair, Steve. Gee whiz.
I mean, they
What
do
a
wear
terrible
wooden shoes.
comparison.
They do.
Anyone that's listening to this, it is not like that. Tulip time is really fun. It's not a Renaissance fair.
I want to know why a couch is luxury.
I don't know.
Have you been without a couch for a while, or what's the?
I don't know. I was just thinking luxury couch. Like in my mind when I said
She was
couch.
thinking leather.
I was thinking one
Leather
of those
furniture.
like pretty ones that's like ornate. I don't know.
I didn't know if part of the college being a mistake is because you had to like sit on the floor in your dorm room, or you didn't have a
No, I had a couch and a
didn't have a
bed.
futon.
You know, Tanner did this. I can't even open these because of you.
I dropped a safe on his hand.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That had to be fun.
I didn't really drop it. I kind of bounced it off the dolly, but
That's so good. I'm having another one.
same thing. So you said yoga, that you love it.
I do.
What about yoga?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm.
just when you're ready to like put me in a box, you're like, wait, nope, she's a
Yeah.
wild card. I do all sorts of weird stuff.
Like hot yoga?
I love hot yoga.
How hot is hot yoga?
Like 99 degrees.
So it's like a hot
It's
tub.
like a sauna.
Dripping balls in there. Yeah, you're walking
it
out.
just
and
sounds like
you're-
it smells.
It really
sounds like it
doesn't,
smells.
though. Like, you're only in there for like an hour. So, like, by the time it's reached like maximum height and you're out, you're
yeah,
fine.
but you get a lot of people in a small room, and it's like, is it well ventilated? I bet it
yeah.
smells like a locker room.
It's. I mean, it might. I've never like smelled that.
What about
though.
the cleaning person afterward? Like, I think of Antone on.
Well, right, but I'm assuming a hot yoga class, there's just like classes all day long. It's just
Right,
like,
but they like spray the floors and like take the little wipey dealy thingy and clean up the floors.
yeah, they could probably take a squeegee for everybody's sweat that's on the floor.
Mm.
Just
Wipe
why they're
away
so
all the
thin.
iniquities.
like sweat.
yeah.
We should go to hot yoga.
is there such thing as cold yoga?
No, that'd
That's
be
just-
bad for your muscles because then they'd have
tight.
a harder time, contracting.
I know there's yoga with goats.
There is.
Yeah.
It's like a thing now. Midwest moms.
My wife
oh
went on
gosh.
my wife went on a vacation.
Midwest
and her
moms.
mom and her sisters and her all
goat yoga.
paid to walk with goats.
Oh my goodness.
They did a trail hike walking with goats, and they said they thought it was going to be the stupidest thing ever, but by the end of it,
They're having so
they
much
just loved
fun.
it.
So our buddy Chase with the semis.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Tesla?
Edison Motors.
Edison Motors.
Him and his fiance went to a coffee shop. It's called the Bunny Cafe, and it was on Facebook. There's bunnies just running rampant while you drink coffee.
See, someone is making money out there.
But my
being a
question
genius.
is-
What are we doing?
Is
saw
there
your
just little?
question.
Is there just little nuggets, little Cocoa Puffs everywhere?
Bunny
You
turds.
can potty train rabbits. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Or do they wear
My
like little
cousin
diapers?
had one. No, she had one of those lop ones with the big
Oh,
like long ears, and it was potty trained. I don't know how.
it seems like it'd be very good for mental health to like sit there and have coffee with a big fat fluffy.
Yeah, but I get
rabbit.
frustrated when I find dog hair on my plate or my coffee mug at home because we have 2 dogs. I'd hate to sit at a coffee shop and be like, that was me. For those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, I just fluffed bunny hair away from my coffee cup. That's why
Do
you
they
gotta
shed a
watch.
lot? Do bunnies shed a lot? I don't know.
I don't know. I assume anything
kind
with fur
of.
does.
I had
I
one
bet
when
you
was
could
growing up. It kinda
breed them
shed.
like with a doodle, and then you wouldn't have.
Doodle bunny.
A doodle bunny. Who doesn't want to play with a doodle bunny
doesn't wanna-
and drink coffee? I think you should at least try it before you dog it, Tanner.
We got a new
We're totally breeding
new
bunnies.
agritourism. Doodle bunnies.
Doodle bunnies.
We can walk with doodle bunnies.
Doodle bunnies.
Maybe they got
and-
skinless
Yoga with
bunnies,
doodle
like the
bunnies.
skinless cats.
It's a great.
Yeah.
You coach it?
You could market the crap out of that, and Midwest moms would crawl from underneath the rocks for
Yes.
that. Come
Doodle
on.
bunnies and Jack's Bush.
But I don't think any one of us could coach it. You can coach. Could you
Oh,
teach
I can
it?
instruct. Yes, I'm an instructor.
There you go.
You are an instructor.
There's money to be made in that. We just talked with someone the other day that we interviewed, the 2 gals with the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Natalie.
She was a
and-
yoga
yep,
instructor.
that's
So
right.
where do you instruct? You have like your own space?
I do it in a studio. It's actually an art gallery in Oski.
Ah.
So I don't rent out the space. She asked me to come, and then I just tell her what I want an hour, and then I get paid that, and then she just sets
We
up
should
the
have
times
hot
and
yoga
stuff.
in Slater.
There's a
I was just thinking
brewery.
the same thing.
There's a brewery in Oskaloosa, right?
There is. Is it No Coast, right?
No Coast. Yeah, they made a Roni Berry beer with my Roni Berries
Oh, that's right.
back when I had it.
There you go.
Say
They
that.
gave us a tour and everything. It's very small.
It is very small. Did you like it though?
Yeah,
like
it's
the
very
final
good.
product?
Yep. But it was just really small runs, and we don't have berries anymore, so I don't know if they're doing it still or not.
Why don't you have the berries anymore?
There's no market. They were the only ones that really ever paid.
Old Clint, he's doing some kind of powder.
Yeah, he goes down to the Carolinas somewhere, and I've
Sounds
heard
like it.
there's a lot of in the Roni Berry industry. There's a lot of faith of like, hey, you pay for the harvest and you pay for the trucking and you ship it here, and then when we sell your berries, we will pay you, and
Correct.
then you never get a check back.
What?
Yeah, it's not
Send
right.
Dave after them. He'll get them.
Yeah.
That's right. He'll sit there until 7 a.m. when they open.
Yeah.
That's right.
He'll get his
I'm
$300
here for my
back.
money.
I'm like, I get it. Well, all the drunk people showed up the next morning at 8 a.m. Well, I wasn't drunk because we just me and Huey went out and we had to drive. So I was coming back, whatnot. So I'm sitting there, and of course I was first in line, and so I get first in line, and there's a load of people behind me that got their cars towed, and they're all waiting. Well, of course, then there was more conflict because they charged me $300. So
they all had to wait.
They all had to wait in line, and I'm like, I've been waiting since long before
And
you.
they're just
so
hungover.
They're just having a miserable
having a
time.
bad
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, they probably had to walk there because they didn't have any friends to drive them.
And you had to have cash. You had to pay in cash, so I was really tempted to
What?
just go.
I never
and
understood that either, because I had my car towed up at Ames one time and
Yeah.
they're like cash, and I was like, is this like a scam?
Is this-
like, why do you
yeah.
need
Hell yeah, it
cash?
is, because the government just thinks it costs $100 probably.
Correct. And I was counting the amount of cars, and I'm like, this is
Why don't I own a towing company?
That's right.
highway robbery for a reason. Is
Old
what they call it.
Habab was
real.
having a good year.
Habab.
Yeah.
So back to our doodle bunnies. Have you always had a love for animals?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, farm kids, you just grow up with them and you just love them.
You have any weird pets?
I don't think so. No, I've never been like one of those people that had like a sugar glider or anything like off the wall.
Ferret.
No.
Well, the research that we did on you said that you had baby skunks at one time.
Oh, I did. Well, it wouldn't like classify them as pets. I found them, and then did you watch the whole TikTok of that? It's really sad. That's a sad ending.
No, I probably didn't. I can't hand emotional roller coasters.
So the story is, I was like a little kid, and my parents were redoing their deck, and they like ripped all the boards off, right? So that's just like that gravelly-ish soil, whatever you want to call it, that is like just underneath it. And at one point, like overnight, mama skunk had came and like had her babies. I almost said later babies, like they're not eggs. And I had like seen them. I was like about to get on the bus to go to school, and one of my dad's workers was like, hey, look, or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And like baby skunks are like adorable. They just look like baby kittens with like longer claws. They're just so cute. So I was like so excited when I got home off the bus. And then when I got back home, they had already put boards on the deck. So I'm like, where'd you guys put the skunk? Or like, where'd you put the babies? And then my dad's coworker was like giving me the come over here. And I put his head down to the board, and I could still hear them under there doing the like, like the little noise they make.
So
and I was just mortified. I was
them
like,
in
you
there.
buried the skunks. And at that point, like, they can't crawl their way out, like they're not developed enough, and they don't have their eyes aren't open. So like, I understood that was a burial site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how old is a skunk when it can start spraying?
I think
Do
they're
we
going to
know?
be more mature,
I'm going to look that up.
because it's scent glands that they have to develop.
Yeah, my wife.
Skunk puberty first.
That's right.
Probably.
Puberty.
My
I'm going to
wife
say, let's guess on this, a year or 8
I
months.
want to guess
Eight-
9 months.
yeah.
No, cattle go faster. So do a lot of animals. I'm going to say faster. I'm going to say 5 months.
Because, I mean, you think about it, they have to be. That's their only, like, protective instinct.
Their
they
lifespan isn't like
possess.
but they got
100
their
years
parents.
like us.
Yeah, but how
mom.
long do they have their parents before they're off on their own?
Let's see. Kittens, because they are kind of like a cat, probably can go off on their own at,
12 weeks.
10, 12 weeks.
So what's the bet? Where we got? What's our
I'm
numbers?
at a year.
3 months.
I'm saying 4 months.
Juvenile skunks are weaned by the time they emerge from their den, which is about in size 8 inches long. They can make their scent at birth, but by 4 months of age, they can spray it with accuracy.
Wow.
Winner,
right
winner.
on.
Chicken dinner.
WildlifeCenter.org, so it's got to be accurate.
It's gotta be.
if it's
Sounds
.org.
legit.
Everything. If it's .org, it's got to be.
It's on the internet.
Drinkbeer.org. Yeah.
My wife lived on a highway growing up, and they had a couple of big old trees, and mama coons would get hit on the highway, and they would rescue and raise the baby coons. So her mom had a cage. They had, adopted them until they got old enough to where they could be released.
River
So
Bottom's got a coon.
she's a coon lady.
He does?
It's a
Yeah.
coon lady.
His kid's got a coon. Bill Thomas.
Yeah.
On TikTok, his kid's got a coon, and they got a coon dog, and they wrestle together. The coon dog and it's
Really?
They're
Yeah.
like best friends.
they're best friends.
Like you can hold it like a cat?
Like Fox and the Hound. Yeah.
I was going to say that. Like Todd and,
Yeah.
what's his name? Todd and Copper?
Copper.
Yeah.
Well, I just saw somebody the other day
That
that
movie
had a
makes me cry.
TikTok out there of them cultivating, and they had a coyote in the cab with them, a bit like a baby coyote.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
Yep, a pup. I was like, oh, interesting. And it panned, and the son was sitting on the buddy seat. I'm like, I don't know if I'd have done that with my kid
But it was just a
in the
pup.
cab. Yeah, it was a
Just
pup.
some full-on rednecks right there.
yeah.
Gotta love it.
They probably make a good pet.
I was just waiting for it to like cut away, and then all of a sudden it was like, just all the noise around.
Chaos in the cab.
This was a bad idea.
They probably edited that, or else it wouldn't make the TikTok.
That's true. That's
had to
very
take
true.
it
Just
out.
that's why it ended so very, very, very quickly. So what's next for you? I mean, obviously we've learned you're kind of all over the place as far as passions.
You mean like what
What
am I
does-
just gonna
what's-
randomly dive into next?
What's Joy want to be when she grows up?
I don't know. I ask myself that all the time.
Oh, are you? You're not married.
No.
Is that a
Boyfriend?
goal?
But she
Oh,
drives
is it a goal to be married someday?
drives a
Oh,
Ford
yeah.
truck, so she's probably gonna have a boyfriend pretty quick.
Oh, I have a boyfriend.
Drives Ford pretty.
I have a boyfriend. We're just not married. But yeah, someday I would like to be a mom. Absolutely. I have that American dream, just to like raise up all your babies, get a homestead going, have some chickens, have some goats. Just the American dream.
Everybody wants all these animals on an acreage.
Animals are happiness.
What do you mean? You can have chickens in town now.
I know.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a goat in Slater.
You can buy eggs for 99 cents at doggone Quick Trip. It's not that you need.
It's so much more satisfying to
No,
cuss.
it's not.
As you clean out their pen and
Yeah,
step in chicken shit in the
You
yard.
earned that.
And then the
That's the worst
coyote or the
smelling
fox
anything
got
is
in.
chicken shit.
I know. I had
That's-
100
yeah.
layers when I was in high school. I don't ever want another.
Oh, it's so bad.
But it only smells bad when it's like up to that level. Like when you just have some yard chickens, it's not like you just walk in your yard and you're like, oh God, it smells like
Yeah,
I can
chicken
tell it's on
shit."
your shoe.
But my
Yard bird.
my neighbors have like 8 chickens in the backyard, and we live in town, and it's great. My daughter loves them. Both daughters love them. But she came in last night and was sitting on the couch, and I looked over, and her bottom of her feet are black because she
Uh-oh.
kicks off her shoes all the time. And she goes in their dang backyard, and there's chicken shit everywhere. Like,
It builds immunity. She's gonna have
Right.
like a
yeah,
immune
that's
system
no, that's
like a
good for her immune
rhino.
system, but not for the couch. I mean, so
Not for the couch.
like,
And the new remodel downstairs.
so
And,
like,
yeah.
it's like bedtime, and it's like get to the bath.
Wash your feet.
Yes. And why do you have to take your shoes off everywhere?
That's
Man.
the best part about being a kid,
I
though.
know
It's
it.
acceptable
Oh.
to go everywhere barefoot. I would do it if
I
it
don't
was
know.
acceptable.
My kids run across like our gravel. They're playing basketball outside.
Oh,
they have
huh.
concrete.
I just-
I don't know how they do it. Like basketball goes out there, and I'm like, that's gonna hurt. And they just run right across the gravel like it's nothing.
I remember doing.
They don't
that
weigh
a
as
kid.
much as we do.
That's
It's not as
probably
much
it.
force and gravity
Yeah.
pulling them down.
I was hitting tennis balls in the driveway with my daughter, and I stepped on a rock, and I
died.
Yeah, I did.
It's like Legos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dad's
Thought
done
you
for
pulled
the
something like Tanner's down. Just
going
leave
on.
him there.
it's fine. It's just a rock. Man, that hurts so bad.
Builds character.
What do we miss? What else? What would our listeners enjoy getting to know about Joy?
I don't know. I kind of just like doing a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of one of those people where it's like, I believe that like you don't know what passions you may have until you try things. You know, like some people find out they love cycling when they're 40, and it's like, oh, I kind of want to figure out what I like now
Yeah.
because I don't want to only be able to do it for like 20 years of my life if I don't figure it out later on. So I'm just like, try everything. And,
How did you find out that you're afraid of heights?
Oh, I'm not afraid of heights.
Oh, that was
But
just
it just
what you
came to my head. I don't have any fears. Like, no, I literally have a TikTok to prove that I'm not afraid of heights because I climb grain bins.
Have you seen the movie
I was trying to
Fall?
figure that out.
Do you guys watch the movie Fall?
No.
Just watched it last week where the two girls climb the tower. They're social media influencers. They get stuck on top of the tower. Oh, it's a good movie.
Did they fall?
Don't ruin
I'd
it.
spoil
There was
the
a guy
ending.
there was a guy that climbed the tower by
Almond?
Almond
Yeah.
and got 3/4 of the way up, and I don't know if he jumped off or fell off.
I know a couple guys that jumped off, but they're base jumpers.
Yeah,
I know there's
that would be scary with all the guide wires.
Yeah.
I know there's a profession that you get paid like 20 grand to climb those and change the light bulbs.
That's part of the movie. You should watch
Oh,
it.
it is?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, are they real influencers or are they just influencers?
I
in
think
the
I think
movie?
it was a fiction movie, but they just
Based on
they
a
were
true story?
They were influencers
in the movie though.
Yeah.
I see.
Very
What's your
interesting.
favorite thing to hunt?
I really like pheasant hunting.
Pheasant hunting.
Yeah, I like the camaraderie of it. I like watching the dogs.
You guys
work.
got quite a bit of birds. down
In
there?
our area, it's not bad. I would say like there's pockets where there's just like really good CRP stands, and
Yeah.
like it's good here, but then you can go a ways and there's just not as much habitat.
Right.
There's a lot of good habitat up in like Power Chic, which is just north of us.
Yeah.
But
So did you shoot like trap or anything in high school?
in high school, I was on the trap team,
Yeah.
and I'm RSO at like my local range, so I was just out there last night
Cool.
on the trap range, just helping people.
What's an RSO?
Range and safety officer.
Okay. Gotcha.
The Big Spring Shooting Complex.
We were going tonight down by your
Did
place.
his research. Gosh, what is that? What does that all say? That's on that sheet of paper.
She can have it.
It's a great shooting range. If you guys like to shoot trap or skeet, well, a skeet house is broke right now, but it's beautiful. It's my favorite place to shoot trap. Like the background is just
So
mint.
I've shot skeet up at Isaac Walton League in Ames, and then down at the Pioneer Gun Club in Adel,
Yep, been there.
and sporting clays, but I've never shot trap.
trap's all mental.
Is
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
25. Get them.
I like sporting clays better because I feel like it's more applicable for like
Yeah, it's like-
hunting. You know, like that's what a bird
It's like,
does.
it's like
That's what a
ducks
rabbit
coming
does.
in. It's like that
right.
clay's gonna land on me.
Where trap, it's like people get so frustrated with themselves because it's literally just like you have the trap house and the trap birds can only go this way. Like it's the same height, right? But it's just an oscillating machine. So it's just coming at different angles. People, you think like, why can't I hit this? If I can hit a pheasant, beeline and at how many
Sure.
miles an
Yep.
hour, like why can't I hit this? But that's why it's such a mental game. So if you can master trap, I would say start with trap and then go to like ski and sporting clays.
So in high school, are they shooting skeet too, or just trap?
Both. And doubles.
And it depends on the high school team because some teams don't always have like access, or like what our high school team did is you had to do trap only your first year and then progress to skeet, like master the trap and then move. But as long as they have a skeet facility, because you have to have 2 skeet houses.
So
I'm trying to build one here.
fancy over under.
I don't know. I just have a Beretta A400. It's kind of like a crossover gun, so it's
Yep.
kind of like a sportsman gun, but then it's also good like
Yep.
it's got the field gun aspect, but then also the trap shooting. I want an SKB.
Oh,
That's
what I just bought.
they're a good gun. They're a good trap gun.
Yep.
Everyone was shooting them there last night at the range, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna want one. And they have the ATA shoot coming up here, the
Yeah.
Amateur Trap Association. All the vendors are always there, so it's like I know where to go when I.
And Corey, they
Want
got
it.
these glasses. We need to get sponsored by, is it Fila or Philly?
Yeah, yeah.
These awesome shooting glasses. I'm like, I'm going to buy a pair of those. We were just at the state trap meet. And I'm like, yeah, how much are these? He's like, $1,500. I'm like, what?
Holy
Holy cow. Wait a minute.
glasses?
He's like, well, you get 4 lenses with it. And you get, the case and everything. I'm like,
Better get a lifetime warranty.
$1,500 for
Better
that?
get a lifetime warranty.
But he's like, yeah, they're the best. I'm like, all right. And you look, and there's a ton of people wearing them. But I did get to try them for a day. One of the guys let me, and it's like after you have them on your face for a while, it's unlike real sunglasses. There's no lens to the outside. It's just like frames
no
attached
frame.
to the glass. It's like you're not wearing them after a while. So it's just like your normal vision.
Right.
Yep. So I
Sunglasses can do that too. You can get no frames.
tell you what,
Not like these $1,500 ones.
It's like high def for.
It is.
Yeah.
And different colors depending on the amount of light. So purple worked really good on kind of a bright day. And yeah.
Purple and yellow and orange, yeah.
Yeah.
It's becoming into like a rich man sport, which, I mean, everything kind of gets that way to a point, but like it used to just be like the country kids, and you could show up with like a freaking pump gun.
Yeah, I got my
you know what I
870,
mean?
like, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, a $1,500 gun and $300 glasses and this, and it's just like
$1,500 glasses.
turning into like a hoity-toity thing, and I'm just like, if you're a good shooter, go up there and show all those like rich kids that you
Yeah.
can still hit something with like a $300 shotgun.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a fun time.
That is.
I enjoy
Pheasants,
it.
huh?
Our
I like pheasants,
Our
yeah.
bird population around here has skyrocketed. I'd say probably since we've been dry.
Oh,
It's
really?
helped out a lot just because we
Why
flood
did
out
it keep?
so much.
Did it keep the alligators down or what?
No, we flood out so much. So I think a lot of nests get flooded out during spring. Getting
Oh,
all the
interesting.
CRP and the
So you
little
guys just have a
pockets.
lot of like low bottom ground
Yeah,
here?
well, it's just prairie
Potholes.
pothole type stuff.
Oh,
like
dope.
so, a lot
We're
of
in that
the
region.
Yeah, a lot of the fields that get like that get it put into CRP, and then all of a sudden you get a wet year and it's all underwater.
I didn't even think about
And
that.
so, and I've actually seen coveys of quail coming back, which is kind of crazy. So
Are you guys bird hunters?
I will. I haven't for a couple of years, but God, I used to love to. My big deal is waterfowl back in the day. I love duck and goose hunting, but
One of those
I'm
guys.
retired.
It's got all the equipment.
I literally have a 18-foot trailer full of Bigfoot decoys and all that, and I won't do it anymore. Actually,
Are you gonna sell it?
No, I own it with like 3 other guys that use it.
Oh, okay,
type,
gotcha.
type of deal, but they still don't use it that much. But you could tell me we're going to go shoot a limit, and I got to get up at 3 in the morning and go freeze my ass off in a duck boat, and I won't do it.
Yeah.
I got other
I
priorities
have
now.
to be in the mood to do that too.
Yep. It's fun when you get going, but have you ever duck hunted, Dave?
I have not duck hunted. No.
It's fun.
They're quick little things. That's what bugs me.
Shot quail.
But then there's something about sitting in a layout blind in a cornstalk field and them big freaking Canadian geese come in.
Take 'em.
And you just, like when 10 come in and none leave.
Yeah. That's a pretty good feeling.
Success.
Yes.
I was listening to Rump Chat, maybe a week or two ago.
Rump Chat?
Rump Chat,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
good.
So it's
Rodeo.
hilarious. It's a rodeo announcer and a rodeo clown.
Okay.
And they had brought in another rodeo announcer that his part-time gig is to guide in Arkansas. And it's like 3,000 acres. They've got all the food plots. There's like 600 acres worth of food plots for ducks. And they scout every day. But it's like I said, a rich man's game to where they bring corporate events and they guide for large groups of people. And if you shoot your limit, he gets $1,000, $3,000 tips. So he goes, well, I make more doing that than I do rodeo announcing, but I love rodeo announcing. But just the camaraderie. He says sometimes you get, I felt like he's talking to me, someone that comes out of the office that all they've done has been in the office, and this is their time just to let loose and cut out and just not worry about the inside of a cement wall, and they enjoy themselves. And we also have guys that come down that first night and don't make it to the hunt in the morning because they drank too much.
Yep.
That's also getting away.
How frustrating? How frustrating would that be to pay for a hunt and you don't get out of bed in the morning?
I've been elk hunting with folks that didn't get out of bed in the morning, but they had the keys to the vehicle, so I just had to take their keys to the vehicle and go hunting and hope that it was okay the next morning, and yet they were my guide to go.
Oh my gosh.
So
What kind
That's
of
funny.
elk hunting? Like bow hunting,
yep,
rifle?
both. Bow,
Nice.
mostly though.
What do you shoot for a bow?
I just switched. I was a Hoyt guy. I really like Hoyt, but the guy at the sales shop sold me on Matthews. So
You got a V3X or whatever
yes,
it
I
is?
do.
And
It's
I
a
had to
very
go
nice
get one
bow.
too.
So and then I bought it, and then you bought it like a week later.
It does shoot nice.
It does, but yet I have not killed anything with it. I've killed everything with my Hoyt, and last year I was skunked. I didn't get a shot.
And you went out. You were
A
trying.
lot
You were
last
trying
year.
hard. You had a lot of near misses.
There was a big one right near me, and I was
Yep.
just waiting. But
Oh, I can give you this back.
I need to be out there 70 yards.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out.
Yeah, just by now we could get to the creepy point and be like, yeah, I know everything that's on here.
Like I already knew everything you were
Yeah,
gonna say.
I'm the one that typed it up.
You
Just
studied
kidding.
it.
Never mind.
That's correct.
I shoot a Hoyt now, so I was like, you said that.
Well, it's good though.
Hoyt's a
They
good bow.
are.
I will
Matthews
say
are
Indestructible.
the guy at Shields really knew his stuff about the Matthews.
Yeah.
Because I was always against Matthews.
At Jordan Creek here?
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Chris.
You got me all cited in last time. You're just going after a name.
It's probably Chris or Matt, one of those two.
Jake.
No,
Josh.
he works at State Farm.
State Farm. I actually went to Jack's out here, and that guy sold me on it. And of course, they let me shoot it, and the accessories is what all the light stuff
All
for
the
packing,
integrated stuff.
all the
yeah.
integrated stuff for packing in the mountains and going out and being lighter weight. That's what
It's got
sold
that
me.
integrated tripod on
It
the
does.
bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So you can set it down or blind hunt or
And
So
your sight goes like in between the rails.
correct.
Yep.
Supposed to make for straighter.
Solid
I don't know. When we
center.
went from like 300 feet per second to 320, does it really even go that?
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes that much of a
I
difference.
killed a lot of deer at like
Correct.
230 or whatever with my old 2003 Hoyt that was lobbing them at 30, at 30 yards. It's like
Same
you
here.
could see the arc.
They're like, still hear the
It
string
still
snap.
goes through them. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's good. This has been a pleasure. I hope you had a little bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they want to follow you on Instagram and TikTok, what's the username?
It's just my name, Joy Van Wyngarden, on both of them.
Easy enough. Smart.
I need to come up with something more fun, but
No, you don't, because he's now has to every time say corn, pork, and beans.
Yes, he does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. I love it. So we ask our guests a wrap-up question every time.
Okay.
And you just so happen to fall into the what would you go back and tell yourself at 18 question. So think about that,
So
listeners.
what, 2 years ago?
That's right.
feels like it. Feels like 2 years ago and also feels like 12.
So listeners, if you would do us a favor, please send us your guest suggestion ideas. Thanks for letting us know that Joy would be a great guest. Also, if you have friends that you could share us with, we'd appreciate that.
Or a drink mix.
Or a drink mix.
Yeah.
Those are fun. This was a great one. Thanks.
And we need 2 million downloads, so share it with your friend, download.
Yeah, just have us on repeat, would you? Every one of those matters.
Download again.
Listen to
Yeah,
this
subscribe.
episode. It was great.
Yeah.
This was perfect. So I tried to buy you a little bit of time.
I would just say pick the friends that are ahead, that are getting where you want to go. Don't just hang out with people because they're fun or comfortable or you've known them a long time. Like, find the people that you want to be more like, spend more time with them.
Well, this will be officially the last podcast episode. I'm going to have to find new friends.
Surround
Sorry,
yourself
guys.
with like-minded individuals.
Sorry,
yes.
Corey. Sorry.
I
Dave.
love it.
No, that was great. That was
It was
a lot of
genuine. It
fun.
was from the
Yeah,
heart.
I like it.
Yeah. It was a good answer. We hadn't had one like that either.
Yep.
This is good. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate you coming in person. It's always more fun.
Oh, it's so
That's
much
what
more
I thought
fun.
too. I was like, we could do it over Zoom, but I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not that far away.
Yeah.
This is my alma mater up here, so I was like, we'll just make the drive.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And listeners, it's just like you're sitting in the room with us. We thank you so much. And Corey, what do you say?
Crack a bush light. You deserve it.